For me, the first thing is teaching from love and from the passion about your practice. As we talked before, like honoring the lineage that you have learned from. That's really important. Like when knowing from where you are coming from and teaching that, like with the purity of the teachings that you have received. You teach what you practice, and that you are honest with your practice. What I teach is the sequence and the way that I was taught, but of course, when based on the age of the person, their limitations, the injuries that they have, you always adapt.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like the length of the practice, also the asanas, the breathings. Like if you have to introduce more inhalation or exhalations when it's supposed to be one count, but maybe you can do two.
So if someone is thinking about trying Ashtanga for the first time, but they feel intimidated, what would you say to them?
There is nothing to fear for. You will start from zero, getting like super simple instructions, step by step in your own rhythm, and also to try to remove any idea that they can have in their mind, because I think that's the worst thing, all the assumptions and ideas that we create in our mind before we actually know something or someone. From my experience, I was lucky enough to know nothing, have no expectations, so whatever was coming was magic.
Yeah, nowadays people have like Instagram,
Yeah.
all that crazy poses and
Yeah.
all that.
So it can be inspiring to see some people like this, but it doesn't have to be the goal, or it doesn't have to be also something that's stopping you from having much more simple and short practice. This is the t-shirt that it's more special and people more resonate with. It's a drawing that I did when Sharathji passed away. I did it in a paper on the plane going to Mysore. Then I saw the drawing again after a few months, and I thought that it would be really nice to make a teacher as a tribute, and then we all can keep him. And then a lot of people that don't practice also love it and get it. So it's super special that it's not only with the Ashtanga community, like goes beyond that also. The tiger, the sun.
So it says the white ones
Never
die.
Yeah.
And you said tiger is
his favorite. He was his favorite animal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I love that T-shirt.
Yeah. You got one.
Yeah, I bought one of those.
I love
Yeah.
reciting mantras. I think it's healing me unconsciously, like doing a practice, but not putting the idea of I'm healing. But I know that I had not problems raising my voice and giving a voice to this being. It has been always difficult. So with recitation, mantra recitation, it's helping me to be less scared of saying my truth.
Yeah. What brings you joy outside of yoga?
I just love life. I'm lucky enough to be super happy to be that I've been born in the family I was born, in this body that I was born, the life that I had, the experiences, the capacity that I have to experience whatever I have to experience. So from having a coffee with someone, of going on an adventure, travel, being able to practice.
You just appreciate everything happens in your life.
Yeah, and in such a magical way that I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky also that I can dedicate myself to art and beauty and creating.
You do what you love.
We do what I love. Because I love surfing, I love reading under the sun, naked on the beach.
have your students told you anything that unexpected?
One of the students had, her name was Jessica, and she was coming for a month, but she was living here and somewhere else, so she will come for a month and then she will rent her room while she was away. And to that girl that she was renting the room, she told her, you practice yoga, you have to go to this place. I don't remember the name, but it's silent yoga. So then this girl came, her name was Shira, and when she saw me and she saw Ashtanga Yoga, suddenly she was like, oh my God, Ashtanga Yoga. She thought that she was coming to a silent yoga class. She has never heard about it, but she was like, I'm going to give it a try. Someone recommended it to me. She was looking at it, and it's like, I will try it. And then when she realized that it was the practice that she was practicing but at home, she was super happy. But for me, funny thing was like, because Jessica couldn't remember the name of the practice, it called it silent yoga. Then it's true that it can be like really silent, and people can be really uncomfortable in this silence too.
Yeah, true.
But I thought that it was like a really beautiful analogy, silent yoga. I thought it was such a beautiful way of describing it.
Yes, yeah, true.
I think that is what happened with this practice when you practice without interruptions and for a long period of time. One day I had this revelation of being so grateful for never stop practicing. When I came from, it was like after a Mysore trip, I was in Australia and I was cooking and the sun was shining and I was feeling so amazing. And this was this feeling of feeling complete for never giving up of the practice. And I guess that this is what's happened. You go quietly, like practice by practice by practice, incorporating the teachings in your life, and suddenly you feel like you have transformed so much. And then people tell you, oh, you have changed. Yeah, of course I have changed. I have transformed.
So that's the inspiration for this.
Yeah,
wow.
It was very intuitive. Like,
Pretty.
I guess that the meaning I found it after, before I did the drawing and the saying, and then I needed to put some ideas on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But the first way of, like, the first impulse, it was just pure intuition, something that I wanted to do.
How would you describe your yoga journey in one sentence?
Silent transformation.
Yeah. True, true.